Cowboys, that's Jerry Jones welcoming somebody to the team.
And with the 12th pick in the 2021 the NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Micah Parsons. Woo! Linebacker, Penn State.
He is a heck of a player coming to Dallas.
You go watch his pro day. It's one of the best linebacker pro days I've ever seen. You can line him up anywhere you want. Dan Quinn's going to have fun with him. He might be a double-digit sack guy. He's that good coming off the edge.
This guy is fast. He's explosive. He is downhill. Hopefully the commissioner's going to be all right.
Me and the boy Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch are there. Let's turn it up. We're going to make it LBU again. Let's get it.
Remember when we thought Jerry Jones was going to find a way to get Kyle Pitts in the draft? Well, they went the entire opposite direction, focusing on defense. In fact, the Cowboys' entire offseason zeroed in on improving the defense in Dallas. Mike Garofolo joining Willie and I now for this one. The entire football universe was screaming, improve your defense. Not that the Cowboys needed that reminder, but that's exactly what they did this offseason. So how will the Cowboys' bolstered defense stack up in the NFC East this season, Willie?
Well, I think it started with Dan Quinn, the hire of Dan Quinn, the offensive coordinator. And the first thing he's going to do is he's going to simplify things and put guys in the right position. Under Mike Nolan, this defense, they had guys playing out of position, especially in the front seven when your defensive ends were in the 2-point and they were dropping out. Those guys' hands will be in the dirt. They'll be rushing the quarterback. They'll be sound and fundamentally running the right technique. On the back end, they won't be overloaded with coverages. They'll have the same coverages they ran in Seattle. These guys will master those coverages. There won't be a lot of mental errors. Those guys will all be on the same page. Communication is important, and being on the same page, which eliminates a lot of those big plays, which put them at the bottom of the league last year. They didn't control the front because guys were all over the place, so they gave up a lot of rushing yards, which also put them at the bottom of the league. And guess what? When now all that happens, you give up points. So there'll be a little more order. Guys will be on the same page. The mental errors will be gone. Guys will be playing their right positions, and there won't be a whole lot of thinking. Guys will be able to react and play extremely fast.
They were hesitant last year. They were unsure. They were uncomfortable,
right.
Willie. Not just the guys standing up, but also the linebackers. We saw Jalen Smith out of position a lot, and then because of his frustration, maybe not finishing plays, then it became a question of effort. It really wasn't effort. It was more just that frustration that continued to snowball there, and they were lost. Now, look, you had Aldon Smith, who used to be there, who knew that Mike Nolan's scheme, if you played it accordingly, could be effective. And he was trying to tell these guys, look, buy in, and they just had trouble doing that. So that's why Nolan is out. That's why Quinn is in now. And Willie, when you talk about the simplification up front, I would also say what's going to happen for these linebackers is they're going to have more defined roles. I think you're going to see Micah Parsons, though he's a linebacker, is extremely good as a rusher when they bring him. So I think you're going to see pressure from Parsons. I think you're also going to see Jalen Smith be asked to go forward at times as well. And then Leighton Van Der Esch and Neal are going to be the two guys that are going to be asked to cover at times as well. So I do believe having more defined roles and understanding what your role is as an individual player will then help this unit to play well. And look, we all know what the offense was doing with Dak Prescott, who was on pace for 6,000 yards. And by the way, that pace wasn't even a full 5 games because he didn't finish that 5th game. Just play a little defense, and you'll have this team feeling good about their overall prospects.
Yeah, Mike, 8 out of those 11 picks were on defense. And when you talk about the linebackers having a bigger role, well, look at the Seattle defense with Bobby Wagner and K.J. Wright. Those guys are dropping in the coverage. They are doing a lot of different things. They're very versatile. And that's what you have with Jalen Smith and Micah Parsons, 2 athletic linebackers that can do a lot. They'll be on blitzes sometimes. They'll be in coverage sometimes. And you'll use them a lot of different ways. But when you have a good coordinator, he doesn't just throw a game plan out there and try to make the pieces fit. He devises a game plan around his skill set and the personnel that he has. And I think that's what Dan Quinn is really good at. He'll put guys in position to win and play to their strengths versus confusing them and overloading with things that they're uncomfortable doing.
And guys, we essentially know what these rosters pretty much are going to look like. Now we have the schedule, right? We released it a couple weeks back. So we dissect it for a living. But now it's your turn at home. Help us out a little bit here. Head over to our Instagram story at NFL Total Access and give us your prediction on how many wins the Cowboys will have.